Alright gang, welcome back to our competitive one-tile challenge here on Farmlands. It is now April, and we're working on trying to finish up the lime here on this field specifically. And we've got this grass field as well that we can mow today, which we likely will do, or at least start to mow. We probably won't get the whole thing done, but we'll at least start to mow it today. We're waiting on Rusty for this one to get started. Real quick, they're both the links for Rusty and Krustoo. They're down below. Check out their videos as well. But we're waiting on Rusty a little bit later than we normally were, so Krustoo and I were a little bored, so at my boredom, I had a little fun at their expense. I'm not sure, as a matter of fact, I can tell you that probably Rusty has not found it yet. I put Krustoo's go-kart on his pile of manure, and, oh, Krustoo found it. Krustoo, I had Rusty's go-kart on top of his lettuce. He's already put it back up here, so you know, we're just messing with each other, if you will, and just some harmless stuff. But nonetheless, that's where we're at right now. I am going to, I think, instead of going over to the shop, I think I'm going to be a little cheeky again and just buy from Rusty's shop. He's going to probably get mad at me about that one again, but that's okay. Not a big deal. I'm still going to buy from it anyway, just to save myself a trip, because we need more lime, so... Lime's relatively expensive, but that's okay. Still gonna work out. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're all doing well. Things are good here, man. I think all things considered. I do want to look and see what is out in the used market. Is there anything out there for us? There's another harvester, but not really specifically. There's a nice tractor out there. There is a nice slurry tanker out there, which is great. But again, none of that stuff we really need right now. We don't have any cows right now. At some point we might, but we don't have any cows right now. So I don't think that's really worth the money and time for us to be able to go ahead and do that, so we're not going to. Now today, what we're going to try to do, actually, I kind of had a bit of a change here. I think this big field I'm going to put oat in. So I had talked about, you know, probably putting corn in this field. We're not going to have the money to put the corn in for a while. So we should, for at least one harvest here, probably just put down some oat here. It's a quick growing crop. Probably we'll be able to put something else in the ground here as well, so that'll make us a little bit more money on a quick basis. And then hopefully the next season, when that begins, we can go ahead and attempt to maybe do our little plan here for the corn. It'll also give us some ability to get some more money together, get some more things put down. You know, I've talked about a lot of different things I want to put down, some more greenhouses, etc. So that's going to give us that opportunity to do so. So I think what we're going to do is put some oat in this big field here today, and then we'll kind of go from there, I guess, and see what happens with this field to the left. I'm tempted to put oat in there as well, but I'm not positive if that's actually going to happen or not. We will see. We only have really today to do oat if we want to put it in the ground, right? This is the last month to actually drill oat for the season. So if we plan to do that and we want to do that, which I'm kind of leaning towards it, but I'm not positive, we got to do both those fields today. Which basically what that means is our grass field over here, we would not mow that. Obviously, we wouldn't really have the time to mow that. So something we got to consider, I guess, as we move along here. But yeah, hopefully you're doing well. Things are good, man. Things are good. I'm getting ready to, at the time of this recording, when you see this, I'll be heading to Vegas tomorrow, actually, when you watch this. I've talked about it in the past. I'm not going to bring it up a bunch right now because I've talked about it a bunch already on different series that I'm running. But yeah, I'm going to be gone for about a week. It's a long time in Vegas, but I'm playing in a poker tournament for a big milestone birthday for me, which my birthday is actually... well, it'd be 3 days from the time this releases, Tuesday. So, yeah. But, I mean, I go out and play this poker tournament. Well, I've only done it in a couple years now, but for probably the foreseeable future, I'm probably going to do this every year because it's a lot of fun. It's not outrageously expensive. They give you a really good deal. So I'm likely to continue to do it. But nonetheless, it always tends to be, or it is, if it's not, it's like a day, you know, before it or whatever. But it normally tends to be around my birthday, which is just kind of a bonus for me. Those of you know me, have been on the channel for a while, know that I play in a league once a week, so it's exciting, man. I always talk about it when it comes up because it's fun, it's exciting. Last year I almost made the money. Hopefully this year I do make the money, but be happy if I make it even remotely in the same realm as I did last year. Last year I missed the money by about 20 people. It was about 14. I think they said it was 1,400, a little over like 1,450, maybe 1,460, something like that. So 1,460 people, something like that. A lot of people, man. It's a lot of people. The biggest tournament I've ever played in by far. So I was pretty happy with that. But this year, we need to do better. We need to make the money. Now, granted, last year, if I made the money, I probably was just going to get my money back that, you know, I paid to get into it, which the price you pay is literally for the hotel room and for entry. It's both included, so that would have been great, right? I could have had a free trip to Vegas if you consider it that, besides the flight, of course, but the hotel and everything would have been a free trip. So let's hope and strive to try to get to that one this year, huh? Anyway, we are almost done with the lime here, which is great. And then we will get the drill out and start putting in some oat here. Now, I'd love to get a planter. The planters are actually pretty expensive. If I want to get a planter, the one I could get right now with the amount of money we actually have, it's, I think it's like a 2 meter, or it might even be less than a 2 meter spread. So not really worth it right now anyway, which is why I'm kind of shifting gears here and changing my mind a bit, at least for the first season. I just don't think it makes a whole lot of sense right now for us to go that approach. It's very, very expensive and would take up all the money we have, and I think I'd rather utilize some of this money for some other things that we're going to try to help you know, accomplish and do when we're in the periods of time where we're just waiting for things to be ready, right? Really, I talked about, you know, my goal, and it truly is to have, you know, multiple fields going that have different planting periods, or different seeding periods, and different harvesting periods, so that way we have, you know, multiple things to do, and it's not like we're doing 4 or 5 harvests or 4 or 5, you know, seeds or drills in the same exact month or same exact episode, right? That truly is the goal, but I think here early on, given, you know, money situation, I just don't think it's technically the smartest thing for us to do. I don't think it's that feasible right now, so. But hopefully by next year, we'll have a lot more money in the bank account, and we can kind of go from there, right? So we'll go put this away, we'll go grab the drill, and we'll get started. Now, I don't know how much seed is in that drill and fertilizer. I don't remember. I know we utilized it in the last episode, but I don't remember. It's only been a couple of days, as a matter of fact, because the guys luckily were able to do a recording on Sunday. Otherwise, we probably would not have been able to accomplish, you know, an episode. This episode's going to release, you know, that Saturday, right? We probably weren't going to be able to accomplish that, more than likely at least, because I wasn't going to be here to record it. Not because I won't be here for the actual day. Okay, why are we not switching gears? Why are we just using the mat? Why are we just using that? Alright. I don't know why I keep having issues with this thing, but whatever. We'll put it back on auto for the time being. Or don't. That's good too, Z. Way to go, buddy. Get together, man. Come on. Alright, there we go. Now, one thing I would love to do, and this is not going to help us in any way as far as the series goes, I would love to have some kind of a power wash spraying station to clean our equipment off. Our equipment is getting extremely, extremely dirty here. I think we're going to need some seeds and fertilizer. I think I'm going to buy some. I do have a pallet of fertilizer over here, so I might as well fill that up first, and then maybe we'll just go buy the seeds over there at Rusty's buy point. Make him more upset. Looks like he's doing some heavy mowing right now. Alright, there we go. It looks like he's also kind of changing his setup here a little bit around where the chickens are. I'm not sure if he's going to turn that into grass. This field is clearly grass, so I'm not sure what he's going to do with that field, but looks like he's changing that up a little bit. All right, we're going to change this again. I know it's a bit annoying, but I'm going to keep going back and forth here, but it just, it continues to shift down, and it doesn't really need to, right? It continues to shift up, then shift down, then shift up, then shift down. Just leave it in second gear and just go for it. Okay, so what else? Well, we've installed some new stuff. Some new tractors that are installed. None of us can afford those at all right now. There are also some new productions that we put in. A couple of new greenhouse type of things. One is a coffee greenhouse. I was hoping it was going to be worth a little bit more money than it actually is. So if we go into the menu here and I go down here, I will show you what I'm talking about. Just make sure I'm staying on the line here. I probably should set the steering assist on, but I don't have it on right now. You know what? Let's put it on really quick before I forget, because I'm already missing ports. So we got coffee beans now, so which it's going to allow us to do an upgrade to that, but the actual production to turn the regular raw coffee beans into like a bag of coffee beans or whatever, it is not cheap. It is not cheap. I can't remember what it's under. Is it raw? No, here it is. Coffee bean raw. It's only worth $68 at best. I'm not sure it's worth it. The coffee roasted, you know, maybe so there, because you're making almost $2,000 at one point, right? But it's not a ton of money by any means. We also installed a cricket mod, which you can grow crickets and sell those straight up for $1,100. I'm leaning towards doing that. It's $10,000 for it, so it's not outrageous. There's also the ability, which is a little gross, but I know some people do it. But there's an insect flower you can utilize. So you can turn them into flour for $2,299. That production, obviously, relatively expensive. Likely not something we're going to be able to do right off the bat. But I'm kind of leaning towards putting those insects down. That's a pretty good price. You know, $10,000 to put it down and making about $1,100 on average to sell. I mean, it's not going to take very many pallets before you make your money on that, right? So I'm tempted to do that. Now, the problem I have run into, or I can't figure out, and I didn't test it, so I have no idea, but the problem I'm seeing with it is when I go to try to put it down, as a matter of fact, let me just show it to you. It's probably going to be easier said than done. When I go to put it down, it doesn't actually tell. I know I don't have anything on right now, but it doesn't actually tell me. It tells me where the water goes in, but it doesn't tell you where the pallets spawn. My eyes, they would probably spawn on this side, but I don't know that. It could spawn on the left side, the right side. I have no idea. So what I'm trying to get at is if I do place it down, a lot of the times I'm utilizing, you know, the ability to, you know, place it down on free mode. I'm concerned that I might place it down in free mode, and then it can't spawn any pallets. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do there. I might have to just wait until the next episode to decide to put that down, although I'd love to do it now. I might have to wait until the next one. But we'll see. Also, I'm sure you saw it, and if you didn't, we do have one more pallet right now of aged goat cheese. So that's another good thing. We'll go ahead and take a peek and see if the price is still decent. If it is, which I expect it to be. Yeah, it's still decent. We'll probably go sell that today, which will be good, right? That'll get us closer to 30K. Now, the reason why I'm kind of... Whoops. The reason why I'm kind of, you know, tempted here... I'm just going to turn around this way. It's going to be easier. To do oat in this field as well is because of how fast the growing period is, right? Because of how quick it is. I'm pretty sure it's going to allow us the ability to do wheat and barley, I think. Maybe we can look at the actual... crop calendar here and figure that out. So the oats, I put them in now. They're going to be ready in August. That means we can actually do canola in here. We can do barley. So it's kind of a no-brainer for us to go ahead and do oat in both of these fields, because when they're done, along with that one over there, we're going to have the opportunity now to be able to put in... are we missing a piece there? Is that just... an excess lime? I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to go back over that. Anyway, it gives us the opportunity to basically harvest these fields twice, right? all 3 of these fields twice. So that's going to be more money for us in the long run. Now, one other thing to note that we haven't really sorted out yet. We don't have a silo of any sort. When it comes to harvesting these crops here, ideally some of these we would love to be able to turn into flour, right? All the oats and the wheats and the barleys, etc. Well, some of the wheat likely is going to go into the chicken, but you get what I mean. We would love to be able to turn these actually into flour, because that's going to make us a lot more money. But if it isn't, specifically like, you know, the canola, I guess we could do canola oil from that mill, potentially, whichever one we put down, right? But anyway, if we need to hold on to it for whatever reason, we don't have the mill or whatever it may be, we probably need to you know, consider some kind of a silo, right? We haven't put a silo down. We haven't spent any money on putting down a silo. I don't even know how much it's going to cost to put down a silo. I would suspect it's probably going to be pretty expensive. I don't think we've installed a whole lot of inexpensive ones. There's some down here for 812, so I guess it's not terrible, but they don't hold that much, right? It might be okay for what we have here, but they don't really hold that much. While we're in here really quick, I'm just going to show you these greenhouses that I'm talking about. So we've got the cricket one, which we talked about there, but then these are the coffee ones. And now the nice thing about this one, it actually has one that you know, does a pipe. It doesn't actually put them into pallets. I really like that. I wish more of those had that option, because then I can just pull the trailer underneath it and unload it into the trailer, and off we go. I don't have to sit there and pick up each of the pallets, right? Now that coffee one is also $10,000, and you can kind of see my dilemma here, right? It's hard for me to put down the coffee one right now when we don't have a ton of money. We're not struggling per se, but we don't have a ton of money. But it's hard for me to put down the coffee when you make such little money, and I could put down the crickets and make such, you know, an astronomical amount more in comparison. So now maybe the thing is, maybe with the coffee bean greenhouse, maybe you make a heck of a lot more. Maybe the yield is a lot higher, and it kind of offsets that. I don't know. I haven't done any of that math. I haven't done the research. I haven't done any of that. So I don't really know. It doesn't really look like the oat is going in here. It looks like it's just taking my fertilizer. Well, I'm just going to go down it anyway at this point. We've already started, so it's only going to lose probably 10 to 15 liters of solid fertilizer, which, granted, it is a decent amount, but that's okay. That's okay. Now, the other thing is, if I decide to do the oat in there, right, what are we going to do for the next couple of months, right? It's a serious dilemma that I've got. We've got the grass to mow over there that we haven't mowed yet, but we can mow that, right? So we've got that. So that's one thing. But that's not going to keep us busy for, what is it? The equivalent of 2 months, right? That we'll probably get that grass mowed in 1 month. So what are we going to do the other month if I decide to do both these fields in oat right now? I don't know. That's kind of why I was leaning towards the corn, right? But if I'm doing that, I've got to get a planter. Planters aren't cheap. Planters are really expensive, as I mentioned. There's really nothing out here that's inexpensive. This one is the cheapest one by far, and it's a mod we installed. 2.3 meters. It's tiny. Not that there's a problem with that, because it would take up some time, but you get what I mean. Like it's not, you know, it's not cheap. $20,000 takes all the money we have at current. Now, granted, we've got pumpkins we can go sell right now, and we've got the aged goat cheese we can go sell, and we've got the eggs if we really absolutely had to, but I'm trying to keep those until it's absolutely best to sell them, because they do fluctuate a lot versus the pumpkins don't really fluctuate at all. So, you know, it's there's things to think about, I guess is how I should put it, right? There's things to think about. This is not going to work. Here we go again. Now, this is going to be a very, very, very large field of oat right here that we're putting in. An extremely large field of oat. So I'm expecting this one to produce quite a bit of money, especially when it comes to the straw. Now, speaking of straw, I've also talked about some ideas, or thought about some ideas, I guess. I'm not sure if I've actually talked about them with you or not. But I've got some ideas for the straw. One of those is you know, what I would utilize the straw for to assist when it comes to the corn. There's something specific that I can use that for. We can also potentially try to do the straw and make straw pellets and then utilize that for like heating and things like that. We can also attempt to try that. So there's a couple of options we have here. Now, real quick, I don't know if I actually fully mentioned it or not, but we don't have any more silage to sell. We are completely out of silage. If we go into our productions here, I will show you what I'm talking about. Not those. Nothing. There's nothing left in there. Greenhouse, still going strong. Dairy, obviously, whenever we have the actual goat milk, we will put it over there. But that's where we're at. As far as the animals go, we have maxed out. So we need to sell some of these chickens. I'm not sure. We'll probably sell 73 of them, I would think. But anyway, we need to sell some of those chickens because they can't reproduce anymore. We want them to continue to reproduce. Nothing has happened there. And then we still have the 25 goats that we had there. So, you know, we're moving along nicely here with the animals. But, yeah, we're kind of... This is where we're at, man. We've got to be smart about what we're doing. And then while I would love to get the corn in there this season, everything I'm looking at, it's pointing me to that it's not going to happen. Now, what we all might end up doing, I guess it really just depends on what we got going on. If there's a situation, I really haven't had this discussion with the guys yet, but if there's a situation where the three of us have absolutely nothing to do, you know, example, what I was just talking about, right? If we're, let's just say, and it might not be the case, but let's just say it comes around, I do oat in both fields, and May I mowed the grass, right? June, what am I going to do? I'm not going to have much to do in June. Maybe that barley will be ready. Maybe. I don't think so. I think we did it in the later season. So I don't think it'll be ready until July. But nonetheless, you get what I'm trying to say. Like, what are we going to do, right? If that's the case, it might be a situation where we all agree and say, well, we'll just skip that month and move to the next. I know that's not the most ideal. That's not really, you know, sticking with what I would typically do. But at the same time, we don't want to do an episode, all three of us, just to do an episode. Maybe if we can come up with some fun, like, prank type stuff to fill the time, maybe, but that's not really, you know, probably what you're looking for, right? It's just a fun bonus thing we're doing, adding a little bit of comic relief, if you will, but I don't know. It's something it's on my mind. It's not something I really thought about going into the series, 'cause I didn't think it was going to be a problem, but the more that we carry on here, it might be, right? So I guess we'll see. I guess that's how I'm going to leave it. We'll see. We'll see what we decide to do. We'll see if this even becomes an issue, because let's hope it doesn't. But if it does, you know, that's something we're going to have to think about, I guess, right? Let's get the rest of this field done. All right, so I had a bit of a rethink while we were doing the drilling there. For the time being, I'm going to leave that field be. It might be a bit of a mistake, like I talked about during that. Maybe I should drill it with oat, but I'm going to hold off. I'm going to hold off. I'm going to see if I can make it work. So we're going to hold off on that. Now, we are going to sell the chickens here, the 73 chickens here that are worth $25 at 6 months. They can't reproduce yet. Their reproduction is at, well, 50%. You know what? As a matter of fact, I should sell these. right? I should sell these 73 because they just finished reproducing, so they're back to 0. These are closer, so they're going to reproduce in a couple of months versus this one. 1,460 minus, well, it's after a $365 fee. You know what? Is there, I haven't looked, is there a cheap option for us to transport animals like chickens? This one is inexpensive, but it doesn't look like it lets you transport chickens. Maybe you can't transport chickens. I don't see it in any of the standard ones here. I've never tried it, but it was worth a look, right? It was worth a look. So I'm assuming that the answer is you can't. But anyway, we'll sell them for $1,460. It's not a ton of money, but you know what? That's some extra money for us, right? We'll take it. Perfect. So now they've got room that they can continue to reproduce once again. This is good. And yeah, things are good, man. Things are good. So all right. So we've got 4 pumpkins here that we can sell. 4 pallets of pumpkins we can sell. If we look at the production I was talking about, I just don't know, right? I don't know where to put this because I'm afraid that wherever I put it is it's going to be wrong. And when I say wrong, I mean, and we're not really allowed to auto sell these, so I don't know where this is supposed to spawn at. So I think I'm going to hold off for at least 1 month. I think I'm going to run a test on this and try to figure out where it's going to spawn at before I put this down. I just don't think it's smart right now to do. This one, however, we do know where this goes. Now, the problem with this one, it does require liquid fertilizer, so that is another expense, right, that we would have to purchase. But it's not very expensive. It does give us the opportunity to kind of expand from there. Just to kind of show you what I was talking about, if we look at the actual coffee bean production here, it's 80 grand, and it's outrageously big. It's huge. So, yeah, I'm not sure if that's really going to be the smartest play for us. Let's put it that way. Now, how are we going to get that pallet up again? Well, to be fair, they haven't seen the last episode yet because we recorded that, like, you know, kind of together here, as I mentioned, right? We kind of recorded it early on purpose because I'm going to be out of town, right? So they haven't seen it yet. So I'm going to use the little trick again, and if somebody catches me, somebody catches me. But I'm going to use the trick again, at least until they've seen it, and then you know, when they yell at me or whatever, then I won't do it again. But I'm gonna. They've been sneaky, right? Rusty especially has been super sneaky, adding stuff in that neither one of us knew about. So this one they know about. They have full access to it. They're just not utilizing. I'm the one that's used it more than anyone. So I'm gonna continue our quest here of being a little sneaky, and yeah. So we're gonna do that. I am probably doing this completely wrong. I should probably at least add that one over here on this side. There we go. That'll work. So we had another pallet of milk spawn. I suspect there's not going to be a ton of milk in there. We're not making tons and tons of milk yet. Eventually we will, once they've, you know, reproduced again. We're going to actually then, I think, start making some big money, some big bucks, if you will. Let's be a little sneaky again. Nope, no, Rusty's there. We're not going to be sneaky right now. We're not going to be sneaky. Nope. He might see me. I wish we could pick these up by hand, but we can't. So, let's see. Where are we taking this at, first of all? Let's figure out where we're taking this stuff. So, the aged goat cheese looks like we're going to the farmer's market, which, so far, it seems like the farmer's market has been a better price than anything that we've put down. Yeah, farmer's market. So it seems to be the best price almost entirely. So maybe we didn't really need to put down these other productions, but, you know, we got them there anyway in case we decide to use them. Pumpkins. Pumpkins are, well, they're really the worst time right now to sell them that they can be, but they're still not bad. 994 is pretty daggone good, and that's at the restaurant. So that just kind of slashes my other comment, because the restaurant is one of our productions we put down. Okay. Well, I tell you what, we're not going to be able, if we, I'm sure we can probably sell the aged goat cheese at the same location that we would be selling the pumpkins at, so I probably should sell these first, then come back with the forklift, hopefully steal it, kidnap it for a minute, put that aged goat cheese on here, and then go sell that at the restaurant. And I already made a mistake, and I'm sure somebody was already yelling at me in the comments about it. I'm sure I'll hear about it, and that's okay. I sold the pumpkins at the wrong place, gang. The aged goat cheese was supposed to go to the farmer's market. Shit. Well, what was the difference here? How bad was it on the pumpkins? And I understand also in the pumpkins that I'm losing a couple hundred, $300, $400, $500, maybe even dollars. I get that. Later on, we're not going to be doing what we're doing now. It's just we kind of need the money right now, so we are doing it. Farmer's market, I made $9.78. So it wasn't that bad. It wasn't even $20. All right, that's better. That's not terrible then. Okay. All right, that's better than I thought. So we're going to go sell this, and then we're going to get started on mowing our grass field. It is time to mow that field, as I mentioned. Real quick, though, we are going to peek here, and we shouldn't need to do any kind of fertilizer on any of these fields, but let's just, double check that. I'm wrong. I am incorrect. We do need to do fertilizer. Interesting. I thought we didn't need to, but it says we do. Okay, so never mind. Change of plans there. We're going to have to do fertilizer. That means we're going to have to buy fertilizer because we don't have a ton. We have a little bit. Ooh. What did Krustoo do? He sold his case. No way. Really? That makes me want to buy that. What did he buy? What did he buy? Because I'm close. I can almost get that. I better do it before Rusty gets it. He doesn't have anywhere near the amount of money I do. What did he buy? I've got to look now. I've got to look. What did he get? What did he buy? I can't believe he sold that. Well, he's just going to the standard tractor. He's just doing what we're doing because we've been dealing with it, so he's just getting rid of it to deal with it. Oh my gosh, look at this. The last episode we talked about these he added here, and then I messed with him some more, and now he's got a wall of scarecrows. Oh my gosh, that is the funniest thing I've ever. Oh, that's great. What is he doing? Oh, he's got the little planter that I was talking about. He's got the tiny little planter I was talking about. Interesting. Okay. Huh. I'm still kind of tempted on this one. Why can't I get over there? 24,000. We can actually afford that right now. That kind of does away with all the stuff I was trying to, talk about, though, if we do go this approach. But it also has a front loader attacher already there. Well, I tell you what, I don't think I'm the only one right now that can afford it. Rusty is close, but I'm the only one right now that can afford it. It does seem like a bit of a waste of money. This is not the best tractor in the world. It's pretty annoying. I get that. But at the same time, I mean, we've been utilizing it up to this point with little issues. Obviously, there's an issue with the gear shifts and everything. There's definitely an issue there. But we've gotten by, right? It hasn't been the most elegant thing, but we've gotten by without having to get that tractor. I would love to have that thing. I would absolutely love to have it. That is such a steal. $24,000. And it gives us the ability for a front loader. I wonder how he's getting... Now I'm really thinking, how is he getting... I don't know how he's going to be getting his pallets up, though, unless he's doing the little trick that I'm doing. Unless he saw me do my little trick and he's starting to utilize it, which is fine. He's allowed to. I'm going to unload this right here. Probably not the best spot to unload it, but I'm going to do it anyway. His, you know, that forklift, it's for everyone. It's for all three of us. I didn't specifically state any rules saying that you couldn't move it from there and utilize it on your farm. Obviously, you need to bring it back, and you can't borrow it for good. You can just borrow it briefly, but I never said you couldn't do it, right? Fertilizer expensive. That's something to figure out. We're going to have to do that. In the last episode, I said I was going to do a flyby or go up in the drone and show you, and I didn't do it. I just started talking and kind of forgot to do that, but yeah, we can do that today. We kind of did it briefly, but we can do it today. I'll make sure I do it, I promise. Okay, so if we look at the fields, then this one needs it and this one needs it. Okay, I mean, we shouldn't have any issues here. We should still be able to go over top of this field. Let me make sure that that's still the case now that I did that, but it kind of looks a little... Oh yeah, we're good. So, I mean, we'll go ahead and put down the fertilizer then. We definitely want to get the best yield we can out of this, and not doing that's not going to give us the best yield, so we definitely want that, so we'll go ahead and do it. Now, the other field, we're not going to fertilize that, obviously, until the next episode. But we can at least do this one for the time being. Yep. Okay. I don't know. I really, really think I need to buy that tractor, gang. I don't know why he got rid of it. It had to be the fact that Rusty and I have been utilizing this tractor the entire series. We haven't upgraded. He did. He's been buying and selling stuff back and forth, though, so who knows? Maybe he's trying to do it quickly and hope none of us saw it, and he's going to buy it back. I don't know. I don't know why he would be doing that, though. That's puzzling me. That's making me think, man. We didn't need to buy as much fertilizer as we did. We're barely putting any fertilizer down here. That's okay. We're going to use it. Not a big deal. We're definitely going to use it. Right, that's actually on the other field. I don't think this is actually going to work, but you know what? We'll see if we can hit it. It's actually working. How about that? That's surprising. And it actually does not think there's a difference between the fields here, evidently. There we go. All right, it's all done. We can go take this back now. I don't know, man. 24,397. Leaves us with 8,000 if we buy that. I think I'm going to have to think that one through. I really do. We talked about putting down these other, you know, placeables, the greenhouses, etc., right? And if we buy that tractor, we're not really going to be able to do that. And I think we have bigger fish to fry, honestly. The more I think about this, the more I'm kind of talking myself out of it. As much as I would love it, I'm talking myself out of it. We've got to buy a harvester header in the near future. We only have a couple months before that's going to happen. That's should only be around 10,000-ish. So it's not an outrageous price, but nonetheless, it is still an expense that we have to pay for. Okay. Let's get mowing. I'm gonna think about it some more, but let's get mowing, and we'll see where we're at. All right, it sounds like the guys are all finishing up here, so I'm going to do the rest of this off camera, get the rest of this grass mowed. There's not much left. I kind of cut it a little bit shorter than halfway, so there's still plenty of grass for us to really dive into a little bit more as we move along here. But this is going to be the first real cut of grass we put in ourselves, not just what I like to call weeded grass or just free grass, right? Grass that's already there, meadow grass, if you will, right? So the yield should be good. I mean, it looks it just from this small amount of mowing we did here. It looks like we're going to make quite a bit of extra grass from comparison to what we were making. So this is good, right? This is going to be good for us in our ability to continue to, you know, have money coming into the farm every month, right? Right now we've got that loan that is eating through, and this month besides the stuff we sold, we didn't really have anything to try to offset that. And really, the grass for me is going to be that offsetter, right? That's going to be the way that we help prevent the loan from becoming a worse problem than it already is. So, you know, having that big grass field is going to be huge for us. And as you saw there, that was pretty good. I would say it's a little bit more than 1/3 of the grass we mowed there, but I think that's going to be a pretty good yield for us. And we're going to do one quick little pass here with the baler before I end, and then I will do a flyby over each of theirs and kind of show you what we're dealing with there a little bit, as I mentioned I would do. And we'll end it at that point, since they're both done at this point. I don't want to go too much, you know, longer than they do. I don't want to feel like I'm cheating them out of the opportunity to record anything like that. So I'm gonna think about the tractor a little more. I really don't know the answer right now. I truly don't. Yeah, I don't know what I want to do. I really don't. I want it, but at the same time, I'm just not sure it's really worth doing. I really don't think it is. As much as I want it, as you know, I utilize it in another series already, right? So as much as I would love to have that, for some reason, I just do not think it is actually worth doing. We've really been able to do everything we've wanted to this point, with the exception of lifting up any of the pallets that are non-liftable, like the aged goat cheese, without it, right? So I guess what I'm going to do, because this episode should be coming out, well, basically the day I get back from Vegas, right? So I won't have the next episode recorded, right? So I should at least be able to have a little bit of insight. It's probably not going to be a ton of insight, but we'll do the recording for the following Saturday on Tuesday. So I'll have a couple of days to get your feedback and your insight into what you think I should do. Do you think I should get the tractor? Do you think I shouldn't get the tractor? We'll kind of put it towards you. I'm leaning towards no, but I would love your input, and maybe you can sway me to buying it if you think it is a smart investment for us to look into getting. But with that, we'll leave the episode here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you smash that like and subscribe button on the case you have yet to do so. They are free to do. They help me an absolute ton. Make sure you check out each and every single one of their videos as well. They make out some good stuff. Besides just the competitive one-tile challenge, they do some good stuff. They come up with some pretty cool and unique challenges as well. And I've taken on a lot of their challenges. They've taken on a lot of my challenges. So make sure you give them support for whatever reason if you don't already. Both their links for Rusty Money Gaming and Krustoo are down below. And I'll do a quick flyby right now as soon as I turn around here. And I will, like I said, get the remainder of this all taken care of off camera. You've seen me do this a number of times. You don't specifically, I don't think at least, need to see me do it again. So let's do a little flyby here. Alright, so Rusty... looks like for the most part he was mowing. Yeah, he mowed most of the day today. And he's drilling this field. I'm assuming that's going to be grass, but I don't know for sure. And then we already know what Krustoo was doing, right? I don't know what kind of crop he put in here, but we know he was planting something in there. So, yeah. We'll leave it at that. I don't see anything else major. This is the funniest thing ever, but I don't see anything else major. But we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for watching, gang. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks to my members. Cannot thank them enough. And I'll see you all in the next episode.